Welcome, everybody, to creating content that converts for real estate referrals. We are so excited to have Krystal Lindsay here speaking, and we have lots of great content for you today. My name is Amy Jauman. I am the Chief Learning Officer for the National Institute for Social Media. Happy to be playing host today and monitoring the chat box. For those of you that came in a little bit after we got started, if you did not hear, you're muted on entry. So what we ask is that you chat questions in. Every presenter is a little different. So we chatted with Krystal, and her preference is that you chat questions as you have them. And what I'll do is I'll kind of wait for any kind of break in the conversation and get those questions over to her. So again, pop open that chat window so that you're able to send thoughts, questions, ideas, anything in as you have them. Just a couple other things before we get started. I already mentioned that we are recording this. You will get a follow-up email from the National Institute for Social Media that will give you access to this recording if you want to listen to it at a later date. We will end also right on time, but Krystal is gracious enough to stay after and answer questions. We'll allow a few minutes at the end for people to send questions in, but if that runs a little long, just hang out and we'll continue to answer those questions to the best of our ability until everybody is good to go. So with that, we are going to go ahead and say hello to Krystal by kicking it off by telling you a little bit about her. So Krystal Lindsay is an MBA. And she is an industry-leading social media expert, professor, public speaker, and she's an entrepreneur. She does it all. Krystal established 333socialmedia.com to help people use storytelling, branding, and live social media too. Small business owners and fellow entrepreneurs utilize Krystal's skill set to drive inbound web traffic and increase revenue. Krystal's passion is to help small business enhance brand loyalty, drive sales, and build profitable industry partnerships. Her expertise will enrich your understanding of lead capture, referral marketing, live social media, and yes, storytelling branding. So without further ado, here is Krystal.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I am thrilled to be here today, and I have quite a information-packed presentation for you. Again, as Amy said, we want to make sure that you are in fact chatting and commenting with any questions as we go. I thrive off of engagement, and I really believe that if I get you to the cusp of where you almost get this content and you can almost apply it to your business, I want you to ask that question that's going to make the difference of you understanding it theoretically and being able to actually apply this information. So my passion is you leaving here with some information you can actually implement starting today. I want you to get results. I don't just want this to be a classroom setting. So again, I'm creating content that converts for real estate so you can have a thriving online presence, because I want to know how many people out there are trying to get seen on social. How many people out there are real estate agents and really trying to say what area you specialize in. Is it move ups or move downs? Is it first-time home buyers? Is it specific zip codes or veterans? If you're trying to get seen on social, now more than ever, you have to be able to engage video, and specifically live video, to tell the story of how you're changing people's lives in your niche. So as we go through this, I want to know if you're struggling to get seen and what questions you have. Comment in, and I will give you free consulting right here on the webinar and help you make a difference in your social media marketing so that you can get seen on social. So I want to know if you're out there and you're struggling and there's another algorithm change and you're just feeling kind of behind and overwhelmed. Maybe you're feeling paralyzed. Or are you at the top of your game and you really just want to fine tune some of your content so that you get even better results? Comment in and let me know if you're struggling on one end or the other. Are you paralyzed? Or are you fine tuning, or somewhere in the middle? Let me know so I can really gauge this effectively. And again, there was a big algorithm change on January 11th. On January 11th of this year, Facebook went from a provider that you could pay to get seen to now more than ever you have to get comments and pay to get seen. So today we're going to talk about what this means and how you can break through. Again, I'm Krystal Lindsay, 333 social media. I am a social media strategist certified here through the National Institute of Social Media, and I help clients every single day be able to break through on social media. So again, I'm able to speak at San Diego Association of Realtors, California Association of Realtors. I have 6 workshops in 2019 at Orange County Association of Realtors. So I know social media, and specifically for real estate, and I want to help you be able to apply these tools because social media is changing. It's not just about likes, shares, and retweets. It's now more than ever, social media is the driving force of your business. But people are out there and they're stuck on how to get seen. If you're trying to post something, let's say to your Facebook page, and you're getting 0 likes, and you just keep posting, and you're not boosting, and you're not getting comments, you are in fact hurting your relevancy score. You have a Facebook relevancy score that determines how much organic, unpaid traffic you get. So think about it like this. When you're cruising through and you're on this highway of social media and people are scrolling on their Facebook, there is a competition to see who gets to the top part of the newsfeed and gets seen. And what you will see now more than ever is people who have comments by your friends and loved ones on Facebook. It will show up in the newsfeed. So again, it'll say sponsored post, and then it'll say your friends and your family have liked or commented on this post. Now you see it. Try it for yourself. Organic reach is under 1% on Facebook. So not only are you fighting with an algorithm that prefers live video, but you're also dealing with an 8-second attention span. So social media is really changing because it's based on people with a short attention span and video being preferred. So if you have live video, it gets to the top of the news feed. You also get more comments, and it engages people through story, so you can really fight this 8-second attention span. Let me paint a picture here. First of all, if you have an 8-second attention span, why is it that somebody can watch an entire James Bond movie for 2 to 3 hours and not daydream once? Yeah, sure, it's engaging. There's lots of things blowing up or whatever. But really what's keeping your mind focused is the fact that there's a story. There's a character you're invested in, and you want to see if he has what it takes to overcome those challenges. Similarly, you can overcome an 8-second attention span by using storytelling branding, by telling the story of how you're changing clients' lives, and that will engage your clients much longer than that 8 seconds that you have to capture their attention. So you have to tell a good story. And that means now social media is about creating meaningful video storytelling. I'm really going to break that down, but I want to start here so that you can really understand how important live video is to your campaign. Let me give you a statistic. Did you know that people retain 90% of information when consumed in video? So again, this means if you are telling the story and it is not using video, again, meaningful video storytelling, then you're going to struggle to be able to get seen. So 90% of information is retained when consumed on video. Let's back that up and compare it against only 10% of content is consumed and retained when it's read in a blog. So if you're out there and you're trying to find time for blogging and you're worried about all the grammar or making time or, how do I create content that converts and I need to write these blogs and then promote it across my channels, that is so 2008. We are coming into 2019, and now more than ever, video is what's going to be driving your web traffic. Some studies say that 80%, 4 out of 5 clicks, that on web traffic, 4 out of 5 people who click on something to go purchase is because they clicked on a video. So if you're only posting blogs or you're only posting articles or you're only posting graphics on your accounts, you are working harder and getting fewer results. So again, if you use video, you can have people remember 90% of your story. And again, if you're a real estate agent, you have to break through the noise and show what type of area you specialize in and how you're changing people's lives in that niche. And the only way you can do that effectively is through video, because people remembered 90% of this. I hope this is starting to make sense. So again, if you're only posting blogs or graphics, you are working too hard. Video is only going to become more and more important as we come into 2019. Again, 80% of web traffic comes from videos. So you can post blogs and graphics, which may take you much longer to create, but you're only going to get 20% of the possible clicks. Whereas if you use video, and specifically live video, that's going to account for 80% of the clicks. Now, I'm going to talk a lot about Facebook because most people know Facebook. It's the biggest billboard on social media, so to speak, but live video is everywhere. You can see on Facebook, you have the largest demographic that you can reach, but Instagram just launched IGTV, which means that you can upload 10 minutes of video on Instagram. Previously, it was only 60 seconds. So if you're going after millennials or people under 35, because Instagram is made up of 80% of people under 35, then you're going to want to use Instagram and possibly even Instagram TV. But again, video is there. Of course, YouTube is the biggest video search engine in the world and the second largest search engine out of everything, right? Safari and Bing and Chrome. YouTube is number 2 to Chrome, okay? So you want to make sure that you are on YouTube. The other benefit is who owns YouTube? Google. Google has purchased YouTube, which means that as you upload, let's say a Facebook Live video and you repurpose it onto YouTube, each word coming out of your mouth is indexed to Google, which helps your search results. So if your name in the game is you want to win the organic search results, or you're running Google ads, or you want to show up on the first page of Google, you absolutely need to be uploading new content to YouTube. And why not repurpose it from Facebook or somewhere else? And then lastly, we've got Twitter here. If you're looking to get in front of CEOs, Twitter has the highest level of education out of all of the different platforms. And of course, LinkedIn just launched a video platform as well. Not live yet, but video nonetheless. So video is everywhere. So again, I'm going to talk a lot about Facebook, but know you can apply this to every channel. Now, what are we going to talk about today? What are the 3 tips to creating content that converts for real estate? 1, you need to learn how to increase your likes, comments, and shares. The name of the game for social media, again, it's changing. I call it new social media. So new social media is all about how to increase your likes, comments, and shares, because that's how you get seen. 2 is you need to know how to write effective social media posts. Even if you're doing a video, there's a post associated with it, and I've got a special format I'm going to give you. And then 3, I'm going to walk you through how to use live video effectively. Now, live video is easy. You just click into the platform and click on where you're going to do a status update, and you just hit live, and now you're live within 3 to 4 clicks. But chances are you knew that, and something is holding you back. So what this is going to do is give you the tools to be able to break through, because taking action is easy when you know what to do. And that's why you're here. So I'm going to walk you through all 3 of those, and we're going to kick it off with the first tip: how to increase your likes, comments, and shares. First of all, I want to stop and say you need to be able to be intentional here. You have to pick your niche. You can't be everything to everyone. Now, let me give you an example here. I was down here at San Diego Association of Realtors. I had just done my presentation. I had a big group of people at my booth, and somebody said, "Oh yeah, I want to work with you, and I'm really interested because I work with all of San Diego." And so I said to them, "Okay, well, what area specifically do you specialize in?" He said, "Well, all of San Diego. I do anything." And then his buddy said, "Oh, I got this. I got this." He's like, "I work with everything in California." I'm like, "You guys are going in the wrong direction. Not only if you just specialize in San Diego, but within San Diego, do you do move up or move down? Are you working with veterans or first-time home buyers? Pick your niche, because in order to create content that converts, in order to increase likes, comments, and shares, you have to be able to talk to one specific niche. And this is going to create a value added script. So I'm going to walk you through how to create a buyer persona. We're going to do this today. And I'm going to have you use this as a value added script, because it's going to give you the script when we get to part 2, so you could just take the information and plug and play. All right. So again, I want you to complete your buyer persona. Once you pick your niche, we're going to say, in this case, you want to work with first-time home buyers in, let's say, San Diego. So if you're doing first-time home buyers in San Diego, I want you to really be intentional and think, what type of client have I worked with already? Who has that? Who have I worked with already, rather, that is a first-time home buyer that I want 10 more just like? That's Sally. Okay, first-time home buyer. Sally here. Sally was great. I was able to help her get into her home, and she did all these reviews for me, and I love working with her. She was so much fun. I went 10 people just like her. Great. So then the next question becomes, what was her needs and interests? What did she care about? Use her language. So if you want to get a complete actual form that walks you through how to do your buyer persona, it's just a client profile, you can go ahead and go to 333socialmedia.com and download it. Or go ahead and comment here in the chat and I will send you the form that will walk you through this entire process. Okay, so if you're sitting here and you say, social media can eat up all of my time, or you sat there and you're about to write a post and you have writer's block and you're like, I just don't know what to write. Or even worse, you're making posts and you're putting it out there, but people aren't clicking on it and it's falling flat and you're just feeling overwhelmed and tired and burnt out, and social media feels like a hobby instead of a lead generating machine, which is what it is, then you need to do this step. So if you want to make it easy, you have to complete your buyer persona, because this will increase your likes, comments, and shares. Again, if you're creating content that somebody says, yes, that's me. If you say, look, are you struggling? Do you want to get into the home of your dreams, but you're struggling to get pre-approved? Or are you a first-time home buyer and you don't know where to start? Somebody's going to say, yes, that's me. But if you're just saying, hey, are you interested in real estate or getting a home, and trying to make it general and be everything to everyone, you're not going to increase your likes, comments, and shares. It's not going to be easy. You're going to get fewer results and you're going to have writer's block. So stop it. Start creating content that converts and start making it easy, and use your buyer persona as your script for your live screen topic. All right, so we're going to brainstorm something right here and take this out of the abstract, and I want you to jump in and ask questions so we can really help you be able to apply this for your business.
Hey,
All right?
Krystal, I do have a
Yes,
question.
please.
Can I interject?
Wonderful. Please do.
We just had a question and took just a couple of chat messages to clarify, so hopefully we're not too late in the conversation. We had a question from the group about whether or not you may potentially have two niche groups that are looking for the same thing. So for example, low maintenance properties are a great fit for seniors as well as busy professionals. So
Okay.
technically two different groups of people, but the same desire. That was what I had to make sure that I was understanding. So curious if that is an option, or if you would recommend that you really just stick to and pick one.
Sure. Really, really great question. Thank you so much for asking this. So just to clarify, as a beginner's approach, I would encourage you to have one buyer persona for each product or service. So in your case, as a real estate agent, it's first-time home buyers, it's home sellers, and then maybe move up and move down. Each of those would be considered a different product or service. And then you would, out of that, figure out which one you want to focus on. And what I'm hearing from you is low maintenance home buyers, like busy professionals, and kind of the seniors, right? So in this case, my question I would ask to clarify would be, would the busy professional maybe want a condo, and would a senior also want a condo, for example? In this case, if let's say, yes, they wanted the same type of property, but it's a different niche. Am I hearing that right?
Yes, I believe that is correct.
Okay, so if you have that, I would say stick with one. And the 80-20 rule, Pareto's principle, really rings true 9 out of 10 times. And that is that 80% of your leads, in this case for, let's say, condo sales, for either busy professionals or seniors, but condo sales, 80% of those condo sales will come from either busy professionals or seniors. And this is where you have to be honest with yourself, or look at your financials and really see, were my, excuse me, were my referrals coming from busy professionals or from seniors 8 out of 10 times? Chances are it's going to be clear once you look at the numbers. If let's say you were still stuck 50-50, I haven't seen this to be true 9 out of 10 times, but let's say it is, then I would say you would need to alternate your messaging and have a different buyer persona for each one. But then you can have one video where you talk about buying condos and some of the challenges that were faced for seniors, and buying condos and some of the challenges that are faced for busy professionals. But again, I would encourage you to really be honest with yourself. And if you look at condo sales in this case, you would find that either busy professionals or seniors were driving that. Do you think that helped answer any follow-up question there?
No follow-up. That is perfect. I wanted to
Okay.
throw in there too, NISM, we get that question a lot. And sometimes it's because when we talk about zeroing in on a persona, I think
Yeah.
sometimes we leave people with the impression that you suddenly are in a vacuum and no one else can see your message if you pick one
Yeah.
persona. And it's important to remember that too. You're not excluding,
Yeah.
you're focusing. So I think that was a perfect answer. Thanks so much for clarifying.
Yeah, and just to be clear here, we are not saying, just exactly as was referenced, we're not saying that you only in this case would say, okay, busy professionals were 8 out of 10 of my leads, but I want to grow my seniors. So now I'm just going to focus on busy professionals. That excludes my seniors. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is create a buyer persona or a client profile rather for the person who's driving your business. Other clients will follow suit, but you need to have the inspiration. So when you're talking to the camera or you're writing a post or you're creating a blog, you're looking into their heart and you're saying something that makes them go, yes, that is me. When you say, do you need this or are you challenged with this? You want their heart to say, yes, I am. That's how you create content that converts. And you can't get there if you're trying to be everything to everyone. It doesn't mean you're going to exclude. It just means you have to be intentional. Great. So let's go ahead and walk through this and just again do a basic brainstorm. Now, needs and challenges. Let me kind of start here and just say, as you're starting to brainstorm your clients' needs and challenges, every single time I've done a buyer persona, whether it's for a children's book, like an author, or men's fashion, real estate to lending to property management, people either know the client's needs or challenges. I have not met one person who knows both. So it's okay if you just know one. You're going to use that set. So let's say you just know, as you're working with first-time home buyers here, you just know their needs. They want to get in a 3-bedroom, 2-bath in this neighborhood with this school district, close to restaurants, ideally with a backyard. Those are the client's needs. Okay, then you play devil's advocate and you say, okay, well, what are their challenges standing in their way of getting this 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in this neighborhood? Oh, they're being priced out of the market, low inventory, they're not pre-approved, their credit's not good enough, they're not able to see the vision of the property because it's a fixer-upper, or they don't have the down payment secured, or they don't know. Again, see how this is starting to play out. You figure out their needs, which is usually where most real estate agents fall. You understand your client's needs, and then play devil's advocate on why they didn't get those things already before they met you. That's their challenges. And then lastly, you want to go ahead and go into their objections. In the objections, this is important because you want to remember when you first met Sally, okay, let's say usually it's through a referral, right, a recommendation. Someone brings Sally to you and they say, oh, you got to meet Krystal. She's going to help you with your real estate needs. Krystal, meet Sally, right? And then Sally says, great to meet you. I was wondering what were those questions? What did she first ask you when your ideal client first met you? Was she interested in how you're going to market her home outside the MLS? Or was she concerned about how she was going to get her paperwork together for her finances? Or did she have bad credit? Or did she not have the down payment and you had to do creative financing? Or did you have to help her reassess the fact she was getting priced out of the market or outbid, or, what were the contingencies she was putting on the property? Go back to those questions and don't make this like so high level. Get really, really specific about what it was she was asking you. Now, again, this is what we're going to do. So we'll go ahead and write it down right now. What were the needs and challenges? In this case, we're looking at a, really affluent kind of couple. Not in this, the example I wrote down is not a first-time home buyer. This is more of somebody who wants to move up. They want to retire early. They want to have more time. They want financial independence. They want better support staff. They want more time with their family. These are the things they're working towards, right? And they want a bigger home. So just think outside of what your service is, what do they care about in their life? And then again, really come back here. So in this case, this is an investment property. They've had bad tenants, they have cash flows, they're discouraged, they're overwhelmed. But again, you apply this for your business, whether it's first-time home buyers or whether it is somebody who's doing investment property. And then again, these are the questions. Do I trust you? Can I afford you? Have you worked with somebody like me? Again, write these questions down. What were the questions they asked you? How are you going to market my home? You know, I hope I have bad credit. What do I qualify for? Where do I get started? Write those questions down. Each one of those is a Facebook Live topic. So again, I'm going to talk about how to use live video and how to repurpose this so that you don't have to write blogs anymore. You don't even have to write social media posts. It'll get transcribed. But you have to at least know what your client cares about so you can easily turn it into content that converts. So if you don't do this step, everything will fall flat. So make sure that you go ahead and you pick your niche. Think of your client you've worked with previously that fits that niche. Write down what were their needs or challenges and write down the questions they asked you when you first got started. Again, each one of those, whether it's a needs, a challenge, or an objection, is a Facebook Live broadcast. All right, or a social media post. If you want to create blogs, go for it. By the end of this, I don't think you will. But whatever type of content you're creating, make sure you have those ready. And again, that is what you should be posting about, is based on what you just brainstormed. That's the key. That's the core to how to create content that converts.
Can I throw another question in, Krystal?
Please do. I love questions.
Do you have any guidelines around whether or not there is a limit to how much you can talk about something? I think it's pretty clear that our audience is understanding the value of repurposing, but is there a limit?
Really good question. So let me ask you this. I always hold it to the text rule. If you text it to your ideal client, do they care? And at the end of the day, that's going to determine how much you should be talking about something. I'm not saying you should text it to them. Maybe you want to. But what I'm saying is, if you're talking about, let's say, new listings, for example. So if you've got a new listing every single week and you're going to put that up, is that something you should put up? Is there a limit to that? Yeah, if you put a new listing up every single day, it's too salesy. About one a week is what you want to talk about for new listings. If you have an open house, about one a week, you should put that up. So those are 2 sales posts that you're already probably going to have on your channel. And you need to make sure that you have at least 2 non-sales posts to complement that, so it's not too salesy. So in that case, you could talk about local restaurants or interview people in that neighborhood or go to the school districts or promote local articles or talk about something changing in the news in that area or interview your lender, or there's so many things you could talk about, again, based on what they care about, but you need to have 2 of those to complement what you're doing here. So make sure you have, if you're doing just one just listed, then do at least 1 non-sales post. If you're doing a just listed and an open house, then I want you to have 2 non-sales posts. And then in terms of the actual question is, what's the limit? You can talk about it. Let's say your lunch, for example. If you eat sushi and you want to talk about your sushi every week, if you text that to your client again and again, are they going to get bored with that? Probably, right? But if you're talking about, groundbreaking stuff of what's going on in the school district or why this is the best neighborhood or events in the area or, local restaurants or, interviewing your lenders or your strategic partners or showcasing client case studies, is there a limit to this stuff? No. There's absolutely not a limit as long as your clients would care about it, and just try that text rule. Can I text this to them? Would they be annoyed if I text them about this again and again? And that should give you a pretty clear answer. Any follow-up on that?
Nope, I think that was perfect, and a great point about the importance of balancing your salesy post. Just my own personal opinion, I wanted to say. I think a lot of people forget that, the importance of balancing that salesy stuff with the informative gifts that we give people. So really great.
Absolutely. The number one question I get is, how do I get people to follow my page? And my question back to them is, what are you doing to provide value? So yes, you have new listings, and yes, you have big, beautiful open houses, whether it's yours or your colleagues, who cares, right? Yes, you want to brand yourself to these big, beautiful properties. Sure. Yes, yes, yes. But you also want to make sure you're providing value. And again, if you know what your client cares about, it's easy to provide value. And after today's webinar, you're going to really understand why live video in particular is the best way to showcase that. All right, so let's go ahead and move into tip 2 here. So effective social media posts. So now you have the script. You went ahead and you bullet pointed out, you know, that you put the name. Again, I have a whole form that walks you through this, but what's your Sally's name, your first-time home buyer, ideal client, how old are they, approximate education, income. These are important demographic information you can use for targeting in Facebook. Okay, so that's a little over your head. Let that roll off your shoulders. But if you are using paid ads already in Facebook, this is an important place to capture those demographic information. Then you went ahead and you did their needs and their challenges and their objections. Now you've got the script. Now that is your script. You're going to plug and play with the formula I'm going to give you, and this will engage your ideal client. So you need to stop saying information that's important to you and start showing your ideal client that you understand them and open what's called a story gap. So special shout out to Donald Miller, Building a Story Brand. If you're interested in how to write effective social media copy and content that converts and you want to learn more about this, this is a great resource for you. Again, Donald Miller, Amazon bestseller, and it's Building a Story Brand. He talks about when you first get into that James Bond movie and James Bond appears on the scene, guess what? Nobody actually cares about James Bond until there's a bomb and the girl's gonna die unless James Bond does these things, right? Now you're invested in his character. Now you've opened a story gap. How do you translate that to marketing? You have to be able to get them interested in what you have to say. In order to do that, you have to show you understand their needs and you know their struggles and you're going to be their guide. Okay, by the end of today, this is going to make a lot more sense. And maybe you give them a tip. But when you write a post, you want to follow the format of, do you want your dream home? Are you struggling with getting your pre-approved? We can help. What I want you to do is either click on the video or go to this link or schedule your one-to-one with me, whatever it is. This is how you write a post every single time. So let's say you're going to reshare an article. Again, I'm teaching you to do videos about an article and then post the article in the comments section. You're going to see a spike in over 10 times engagement. Let that sink in. But let's say you're doing that and you're going to write, you're going to share an article on, let's say index rates, how the market is changing and what you get the pre-approved rates and all that stuff. So you say, do you want to get pre-approved for your dream home, but you're struggling with understanding where to get started? We can help. What I want you to do is click on the article and learn the #1 tip so that you can see what you qualify for. Is that making sense? I want to pause here because this is also going to be your intro to any video you do. It's also going to be your post associated with the video. It's also going to be the post associated with an article. It's going to be the post associated with a graphic. You can change it from do you want to are you. Are you trying to get pre-approved, but you're struggling with where to get started? Great, I can help. Here's the #1 thing you need to do today. I'm going to pause here because I really want this to sink in. Again, creating content that converts means you have a niche, you know what they care about. This is where you articulate what they care about. You've already brainstormed their goals and you've already brainstormed their challenges. So this is where you plug and play. Do you want to get your dream home as a first-time buyer, but you're struggling with the finances, or you're struggling getting outbid on properties, or you're struggling because you have this certain contingency? Whatever it is that's an FAQ you hear time and time again from your clients, this is where you drop it in. Is that making sense? I hope so. So again, you use that script I just told you to brainstorm and write down. Now you drop those specific elements in here. This is your formula for creating content that converts, at least written, but I'm also going to train you on how to do the same process in video. Any questions there?
All quiet over here. I think they get
All right.
it.
Hopefully I got a Captain Obvious reporting to duty. Now you know how to do this. Screenshot it. I'll send you the slides. Comment if you want the slides. But this is how you do it. All right. So tip #3, we're coming in here, and this is on how to leverage live video effectively. Show of hands out there. Anybody afraid of being on camera? Anybody realize that your number one fear is public speaking, and I'm asking you to go live in front of all of your friends and family where anything can happen? Does this sound absurd to you? Okay, let me go ahead and get a couple of things clear for you. First of all, it is possible to look better on camera than you do in person. I do it every single day. All right. You don't need to put on tons of makeup, ladies. And ladies, I want you to know that gentlemen, you're just as concerned about how you look on camera as women. This was an interesting fact for me when I started coaching people on live video. Turns out guys are just as concerned over the chin or the wrinkles or the shading or the hairline or, so ladies, rest assured, men have their own problems, and men, rest assured that there are some simple steps that you can take that's going to help you look awesome on camera, look better on camera, and take 5 to 10 years off of you. All right. So I'm going to give you those tips, but I've got something else important I want to say here to this point. And that is, if you're afraid of, if you're letting your fear of how you look on camera hold you back from using live video, I want to tell you that you're going to get fewer results. You're going to pay more for marketing, and you're going to struggle to get your message heard. P.S. People already know what you look like. So you're not doing any service to yourself to not do videos to hide your face, but then you show up in person and you meet them, or you have a profile photo. People know what you look like. So break through that fear, and trust me, I'm creating content just for this on how to break through your fears and get seen on video. So again, I'm giving you today lights, camera, audio approach to how to use live video effectively. But I want you to know I have some very special content coming from you. If your fear is public speaking, I want you to know, again, I'm creating content to help you break through that fear. So make sure you follow the 333 social media page and stay tuned, because I've got some really great stuff coming for you. But again, stop worried about how you look on camera. You're going to look that way when you show up in person. So what's the big deal? All right. The other benefit of live video is once you go live and you hit finish or in broadcast, the first thing that pops up is it says, do you want to delete or post to your page? So let's say you go live, you say, look, this Krystal chick told me I got to go live to get leads. And so I'm going live to get leads. And then the world implodes and somebody rings the doorbell, or your phone erupts, or you realize you got something hanging out of your nose, or who knows. Okay. You just simply hit in broadcast and then hit delete, and it goes away. If somebody saw it when you were live on video, then they saw the broadcast. If they weren't live, and 97% of your views come in replay, so if they weren't there when you were live, then the video is gone forever. So don't let that fear of, but live video is one and done. Oh my gosh, anything can happen. Yes, anything can happen, but it also creates a once in a lifetime event where people show up and comment and engage. I want to drill home a couple of statistics, and I'm going to get right into the logistics of how to leverage live video effectively. Can I give some statistics? All right, first one, I want you to remember 10 to 1. Live video gets 10 times the amount of comments as pre-recorded video. Let that sink in. Pre-recorded video gets 3 times the engagement as a basic still image. So if you're not even using pre-recorded video, you're getting 1/30 of the engagement you could be getting. So you can see why live video is what's creating content that converts. It has a couple of factors here. One, again, people are really competing for the top of that newsfeed. Thousands of things are posted every single second. And when people are scrolling, what determines is if it's a live video. Facebook in particular prefers live video as well as YouTube, and they give you preferential treatment in the search results in the newsfeed. So right there, that's a no-brainer. You want to use live video. Second, people are 10 times more likely to engage with that post because it's a once in a lifetime event. And you can comment back and you can say, hey, John, thanks for joining. And then John writes, it's great to see you. How's your kids or whatever. And you chat back and forth. Each one of those comments, even as you comment back, counts. And that increases your relevancy score, which increases your search results, which lowers your cost of marketing. So that's why if you're not using live video, which gets the most amount of comments, likes, and shares, You're paying too much, you're getting fewer results, you're going to work hard, and people aren't going to remember your message or engage with your content. You have to use live video. All right, I'm glad I got that off my chest. Now I want to give you some actual specifics about how the nuts and bolts, how you can use live video effectively to be able to engage your audience here. Now, first thing you want to do is you want to stabilize your camera and you want to get good lighting. You'll notice that you do have an option of using something like this, which is a selfie light that you can simply clip to your computer. There's a second thing you have, which is a tripod. You simply put your camera in a tripod. All right. So if you want to get it right, you're like, look, Krystal, you sold me. I get live videos, the best way to be able to share my insights, to show how I'm changing my clients' lives, to brand myself to a neighborhood that I want to get leads from, to create top of mind awareness from everybody who knows, likes, and trusts me. I hear you. It's going to demonstrate my expertise. It's going to create industry partnerships. It's going to generate leads. I'm going to lower my cost of marketing. I'm going to increase my relevancy score. I want to get it right. What am I supposed to do? I want you to think about it. What do you think is the most important part of a live broadcast? Is it lighting? Is it tripod? Is it audio? Is it Wi-Fi? Is it your makeup? It's not audio unless you're repurposing. Now, how many people out there just said, wait a minute, audio is very important. I always click out of videos on YouTube if it has poor audio. My friends, yes, on YouTube, you need to have excellent audio. People will click out of your video in a hot second if you do not have good audio. However, Facebook Live videos, let this sink in, Facebook Live videos have shown that over 80% of videos are watched without sound. What? So if you're at a really spectacular party, okay, real estate agents especially, you get to go to all these really cool open houses, or SDAR does this monthly mingling thing and they have it in really beautiful, like I went to an $8 million listing last month and it was just incredible backdrop, the view, the pool, the people, the drinks, everything, the atmosphere. So you get to go to these really cool parties, but you say, I'm not going to go live because I don't have good audio quality. They won't be able to hear me. Guess what? 8 out of 10 people won't even know. Now, I'm going to teach you how to use a lapel mic or an iRig. I'm going to give you some options here, but don't let it stop you if you're afraid people can't hear you. Again, 8 out of 10 people are not going to notice. So don't let it stop you. The most important part of a broadcast is tripod and lighting. Those are two things you can control. Again, you want to stabilize your camera. No Blair Witch projects, okay? Nobody likes that. And 2 is good lighting. So you want to position yourself in front of a nice window with light coming in, or you want to use an umbrella light or some LED lights or a selfie light. Whatever it is, make sure your face is illuminated, and that is going to take off 5 to 10 years. People who know me know I don't go live without my umbrella lights. It always makes you look better. It makes it look like you have a nice filter that just smooths out all of your lines. Now, the second half of this is the tripod. The tripod you want to be positioned so it's slightly higher than eye level. Now, in this case, I actually have my tripod down a little lower. So in this case, you want it up a little higher, right? This is actually illuminating. It's forcing me to look up, which allows the light to hit the top of my face, which smooths out any lines or wrinkles you would be concerned with. And it also does what's called by professional photographer Scott Klein, turtle, meaning you stick your chin out just a hair, which smooths any of this. So if you're concerned over the neck, what does somebody call it, like a rooster neck or something? If you're concerned over that, you want to put your tripod slightly higher than eye level. Get your umbrella lighting, and I promise you, just shoot a basic 30-second video in the camera on your cell phone. I'm not saying go live yet. If you're ready to get started, just go to camera, click video, stabilize your phone, get it slightly higher than eye level, turn on your lighting, and then shoot a 30-second video of how you would start a broadcast. Again, how would you start a broadcast? I already gave you the formula. Do you want to be able to get your dream home, but you're struggling with getting your finances? Great, I can help. Today, I'm going to give you the #1 tip for being able to get approved on your financing. Just shoot that under 30 seconds on your phone and send it to a loved one you trust and respect. Don't send it to 30 people. Then you'll feel like you're being bombarded with feedback. Everything will just get diluted. But send it to your mom, send it to your husband or your wife, send it to your best friend, send it to a colleague, send it to your lender, send it to somebody who's important to you, who's going to give you some honest feedback. All right. So those two tips, like tripod and lighting, are the biggest deal you can have, so you can break through your fear of how you look on camera and get seen. Okay. Now there's a couple of other options, like use a selfie stick, or there's gimbaled selfie sticks that move with you. We can get into that. If you have questions about your technology, I'm happy to help you. I can actually provide links of all the technology that I use on my broadcasts for 333 social media. And every week I do live video mastery seminars where I drop each of the links for all the technology I'm using. So if you want to get access, follow the 333 Facebook page. Okay. Now, okay, we talked about tripod and lighting, but this other word here, Wi-Fi. Is this Wi-Fi? Wi-Fi? What is this Wi-Fi? You know what this Wi-Fi is. It's the juice that makes your broadcast go. Now, if you're trying to go live on Facebook and you don't have good Wi-Fi, let's say you're just on your phone, your cellular data, and you only have 2 bars, Wi-Fi will tell you you can't go, or excuse me, Facebook will tell you you can't go live because you don't have good Wi-Fi. But sometimes it'll let you go live even if you have kind of good Wi-Fi, and then it'll drop, and then it'll come back on, and it's just messy, and it can be really nerve-wracking. First of all, if that happens, if you're in the middle of a broadcast and your Wi-Fi goes out and it says, you know, trying to reconnect, and it tells you it's disconnected, take a deep breath, keep smiling. You do not want to look frustrated when the camera comes back on, okay? Or your other option in that case, let's say you just got started on the broadcast and you did their, you know, are you a first-time home buyer and you want to get into your dream property, but you're struggling to get pre-approved, and then your Wi-Fi goes out, let's say. In that case, just hit end broadcast, delete, and restart. Okay, so you have a couple of options if it goes out, but more times than not, let's say you're 5 to 10 minutes into your broadcast, just take a deep breath, give it a moment, and make sure you're smiling, so when that camera comes back on, you don't look frustrated. All right, now clearly there's a couple of things you can do to prevent that from happening. You can get a Wi-Fi hotspot, which I do encourage you to do. You can get onto dial-in Wi-Fi, which is by far your best option out of anything, is get dial-up, where you can plug in directly to a router. Or you can make sure that you have full bars when you go live. Those are your options. I want to also put something out there and just say, we all love our cell phones, but sometimes our cell phone does silly things. For example, if I have full bars on my cell phone, but I'm in an office environment and I'm trying to get on I've already synced up with their Wi-Fi previously, for example. So by default, my phone syncs with the Wi-Fi. Now, when I try to go live, if the Wi-Fi is low, even though I have full bars, your phone will try to just use the Wi-Fi and not use your full bars. So if you realize you don't have good Wi-Fi, while, you know, minimal Wi-Fi bars, if you don't have full bars on your Wi-Fi, turn off your Wi-Fi and just use your cellular data, especially if you will have full bars, okay, 3, 4, or 5 bars. So if you don't have good Wi-Fi, some of the things that could happen is your words will be off sync with your mouth. So your mouth will move and then the words will pop out a second later, right? So it'll kind of feel like the Muppets or something, I don't know. So just make sure it's not the end of the world, but if you're repurposing that to YouTube, it would take some basic video editing to realign your mouth with the words coming out of your mouth. So make sure you have good Wi-Fi. That is often forgotten, and it is important. So if you have the chance, I carry my iPad with me at all times, so it has data and a hotspot on it, and I sync up my hotspot with my cell phone because I know I have nothing else on that hotspot that's going to pull from that data. So make sure, I spend a lot of time on this slide, oh my goodness, but this is so important. But what I'm going to do is ask you to consider investing under $100 in the following. You can get umbrella lights. I can provide you the link where you can get 2 big ones and a little one and a bag and the light bulbs for $42, $43. No brainer. You can get a basic cell phone tripod for anywhere from $5 to 15 or $20, and then get a little cell phone adapter for $3 or $4. Natural lighting, of course, is free. Good luck with that. A full tripod, you can get, up to hundreds of dollars, but you can get a good 60 to 70 inch tripod for 30, $40. And then a lapel mic, you can get as low as maybe $16 for an off brand and as high as $60 for Rode, RODE lapel mic. They're one of the leaders and they cut out the background noise. So again, consider investing $100. If you're interested in the technology, I created a full workbook where all of the links are hyperlinks to what we use here at 333 Social Media every single week. So if you want this information, just comment back and I will get you that information. All right. So I want to know who's ready to go live. Is everybody ready to be fired up and ready to go out there and get seen? Hopefully by now you're starting to understand why live video is so important to be able to get seen on social media. You're also understanding that you need to pick your niche and be intentional about who you're going after. Create that script in the form of a client profile and then use the formula for the post and use that formula for the intro of your videos. This is what I coach on every single week. For example, I worked with a client who was an all-female real estate team here in San Diego, and she was trying to get seen on social. She actually kind of wanted to get a reality show. She had all these interests, beautiful team, but was not getting any engagement, was posting pictures and recipes, pictures of her dogs and chocolate chip recipe cookies and all this stuff on her Facebook. She wasn't getting any engagement. So we came in, we did the client profile, we created an annual strategy based on the FAQs she gets asked, solidified her strategy going after military specifically, not excluding anybody else, but really creating content that converts for military. And then from there, we were able to set up Mythbusters, where twice a month she broke myths related to her client profile and lined up her team on video. She took her social media content from getting 0 to maybe 2 shares, or 2 likes, to being able to see in a spike of 40 to over 100 reactions, seeing shares of 17 to over 40, and comments from maybe 20 to maybe 60, 70 comments every single broadcast, which again, increased her relevancy and lowered her cost of marketing. So now she was able to get seen. She started generating leads every single time she was doing her Mythbusters. She again was able to lower cost of marketing, which means she could do more videos, and she was able to get her chance at a reality show. So if this is what you want to do, I want to help you break through the excuses and take action. So I'm going to give away some cool live gear, and I want to be able to personally mail you. It's a selfie light, a tripod, a lapel mic, and a clicker. So 4 people from today's broadcast who ask questions, you are entered to win these cool gear. So make sure if you ask a question, you can send us privately your email, and I will work with you directly to be able to see if you qualify for your cool gear. So again, if you have a comment, if you've commented on this video, you can comment now. Just comment the word comment and send us your email, and you are entered to win cool Go Live gear, because I want you to remove your #1 obstacle of why people are afraid to go live, and that is you're afraid of how you look on camera. So if I know you get the right technology, you'll look good on camera, this is your chance. So make sure you comment to get that. And last, I want to have you connect with me. I am committed to building a community of entrepreneurs and real estate agents who are on fire to get seen on social media. I teach you the tools of live video marketing in the form of weekly workshops on Facebook. I also have in-person events here at San Diego Association of Realtors and in my office in downtown. I also work with coaching and analytics. I actually do your strategy. I can help you even be on camera for you, but I deliver top tips every single week for free. So pick your favorite channel, find us on there. This doesn't even have Instagram. Find us on your favorite channel, and I would love to connect, because again, I'm Krystal Lindsay, and I want you to be able to stop making excuses and start going live. So with that, we're about 5 minutes out, and I will pause and ask if anybody has any questions.
Thanks so much, Krystal. Holy cow, I've got a ton of notes here. That is fantastic. We've got Bob chatting in. Great info. Needs to watch it again for all the items to review. I feel the same way. That's why we record it, why we send it out. While people are chatting their questions in, because sometimes people kind of gather their thoughts and you start typing a message in. If that's where you're at, keep going, because we're going to chat a little bit here, so it'll buy you a little bit of time. For those of you that wanted to chat a question in, but maybe didn't necessarily want to chat to the whole group, you can select at the bottom of your chat window to chat either just to Krystal or just to me. I'm Amy. I think we're both identified as presenters. That's how a lot of people chat throughout webinars. It's just kind of that private chat. So some people prefer sharing their email addresses and their information that way, which is very fantastic. So with that, I'm just checking to see if we've got any specific questions coming in. I know I did share questions throughout, so we may have kind of captured them all as we were going. We'll maybe give another minute here. I'm just trying to check and see if we've got something coming through. So I have a question for Krystal. This is Amy asking. I'm just curious for you. So I think a lot of people, when they work in social media, they naturally kind of gravitate towards one platform. So one of my favorite things to ask people is, all professional work aside, where do you like to be on social media? What's your favorite platform?
You know, it's funny. My favorite platform is actually LinkedIn. Twitter is a close second, but LinkedIn is where I built my business, and I have my concentrated base of people who know, like, and trust me. I'm creating blogs and repurposing all my live streams. I'm, engaging with other people's contents. I'm wishing people happy birthday and congratulations on their promotions. And it's just a really, really great way to have direct content, and they have great notifications for top of mind awareness. And then Twitter is great because you can get in front of influencers and really engage with people in a drop of a hat and just get in those micro chats. And all of those posts are actually indexed into into Google. So it increases your Google search results for the words you're tweeting. So, and hashtags get you seen and all of that stuff. So those are going to be my two favorite channels, with LinkedIn being the top for me.
Fantastic. I always love asking that for two reasons. One, I just find it interesting. And two, because I like for people to hear that, even people that work in social media. And so hearing you talk, it sounds like you love all social media platforms equally, and you couldn't even pick a preference. So I love having that kind of behind the curtain look that lets people know we all have these kind of natural tendencies where we gravitate towards a certain platform, but it in no way means we can't be epic on all kinds of other platforms as well. So it's just always kind of fun to share, for me to hear what people think there.
Absolutely. I'm a big Gary Vee fan, as you can imagine. Yeah. He cusses a little bit too much for me, but hey, if you can get past that, right? He's got some really great content. He's very motivational. But Gary Vee, I just did a 5-part book series on his book, Crushing It. And one of the things he talks about in that book is you have to create pillar content. And this is one of the things that made his second book, Crushing It, different than his book, Crush It. Right. So this is his latest book. And what he talks about is really creating pillar content. One, pick your core channel. Again, you don't have to be everywhere on every channel for everyone. You will exhaust yourself. So pick that one channel that you gravitate towards and that your clients are on. And then two, what he doesn't say and that I say is use live video so that you can get seen on that channel. Every channel, like I said, has that component. And then three is you can pull down that video, put it onto YouTube, and then while you do that, you get a free transcription. It takes a little bit of editing hack. I can send over the tools, but essentially you need a Chrome extension to remove line breaks and numbers. And now you have the transcription, what will turn into a blog. Now, by adding a couple subheadings and a cover photo, you have a blog. You can also cut that up into social media posts. You can pull down that video and cut it into 60-second increments and put it onto Insta or Twitter. You can take it into 15-second increments, make little mini commercials and put it onto stories. So there's a lot of different things you can do, but what you need to do is pick your one channel where you're going to have your pillar content, get video content, get it transcribed, and then turn that video and the transcription into smaller micro pieces. He draws it out kind of like a pyramid like this. So the top is your core pillar channel, and then you have a couple mini blogs, and then you have some like mini posts that are longer. So kind of think of it like that, but it's total sales funnel starting with one giant piece of content on one channel, and then you spin, and repurpose and put across all of your other channels.
Nice. That makes sense. And I love how much you've talked through this entire webinar about repurposing content, the value that comes with that. And because again, at NISM, we so often get comments or thoughts where people are somehow in this mindset where they have to create everything from scratch, and it feels so overwhelming that just that mention or even the several reminders of how
Yeah.
much distance you can really get out of one piece of content is not only very practical, but I think it's just such a stress reliever when you can just take a pause and be like, oh, thank goodness I don't have to, get a part, spend half of my work week creating content. So I really appreciate your continuous reminder of that because it's a really critical success factor.
100%, 100%. I really want to say, I just really emphasize again, if you want to create content that converts, especially for real estate where you have to tell your story and differentiate, you have to be able to start with video because this is your social media hack. This is how you're able to take one thing and turn it into 50 other things. Repurpose, repurpose, repurpose. Because now, again, like I said, you get it transcribed. That's blogs, that's posts, that's mini blogs. The actual video, turn it into little 60-second posts, turn it into 15-second stories. Again, repurpose, repurpose, repurpose. You could take one video where you interview one strategic partner, or you interview one principal of the school district you're trying to brand yourself, or one restaurant to the neighborhood you want referrals from, or one client case study, whatever it is, do one video and then get it transcribed, cut it up into smaller posts. You have content for the whole month, and that content will drive leads and get people to raise their hand who are your ideal target audience. So I cannot emphasize that enough. This is the new way for social. Long gone are the days where you sit around and you say, oh, I got to make time to blog and I don't know what to write and maybe I'll do a video about it. Long gone are those days. Now you take a video and turn that into a blog and turn that into social media posts. Repurpose, repurpose, repurpose. I also want to just plug a software, by the way. Live Reach. Live Reach allows you to be able to take a pre-recorded video, like let's say you do a Facebook Live and you're going to put it onto YouTube. Right now it's a pre-recorded video. You upload to YouTube, it actually makes it live again. And it's like $100 for the whole year. So it's a no-brainer. So you get even better search results on YouTube. So if you're reposting to Facebook, YouTube videos to Facebook, or you got pre-recorded videos on your phone, you want to make them live, but you don't want to do everything I just told you to do, and you're nervous, you want to shoot it 30 times and spend 5 hours to make a 2-minute video, so be it. But if you're going to do that, use Live Reach, and that will make your pre-recorded video live for the feeds, and you'll get proprietary placement.
Fantastic. That is a great tip to end on. All of our chat responses coming in are all along the lines of great info. And again, echoing their earlier comments that there's so much content here. They're glad the recording is coming out. So look for that in the next couple of days. It'll be in your inboxes. And for those of you that sent your email addresses in, we will have some follow-ups for you as well. Again, another thank you to Krystal Lindsay of 333 Social Media for sharing all of her fantastic insights today. And we will see you all again on the next NISM webinar. We do these about once a month, sometimes twice a month if we're feeling ambitious. So please follow, stay connected to us, and we look forward to seeing you all next time. Thanks so much, everybody.
Ciao.